That is some really clear water. If there was fish in there, you'd be able to see them. You ever fished in a place like that where you can just see into the water and you can actually see the fish bite your hook? Kind of a cool experience. Somebody told me the other day. I don't know if you know how many fish are in here, but I'm sure there's quite a bit. But somebody was telling me the other day, because I know they stock all the reservoirs, so something just artificial about that to me. You know, it's almost like buying processed food at the grocery store. You know, it's like what are you doing to the fish? You know, when you're growing them before you stock them in this reservoir. There's just something unnatural about that whole process. I mean, I understand why they have to do it, because they're, you know, man-made reservoirs, and if there's going to be fish in them, you got to put them in there. But like, you know, and somebody was telling me the other day, I thought this was interesting. I don't know, I never heard of this before, but I don't doubt it either. But I guess they take helicopters and they stock the high mountain lakes too, which I thought was interesting. I didn't see any of the high mountain lakes on the Fish and Game site, but apparently they stock them. I've seen a helicopter pull water out of a reservoir before. Thought that was pretty cool to fight fires. I was in my boat. I had a crappy little boat with an outboard, and I just happened to be sitting there when he came in and took a dip out of the lake. It was kind of cool to see. What a route. You know, I wonder what it would be like if they didn't stock the lakes and reservoirs. I guess that allows more people to fish, because they're growing the fish at a hatchery, and then they're going and dumping them into reservoirs around the area. Oh, just had a rock just come up and whack me right underneath my leg. That hurt. Yeah, I wonder what it would be like if they didn't stock them. I guess stocking them makes it possible for people like me who aren't avid fishermen to just go and toss a line in and catch some fish and have a good time. If they didn't stock them, I suppose you'd have to know where the fish are at certain times of the year to be able to hit those spots at the right timing to be able to catch fish. It would be a different deal. So that's kind of a cool thing. That costs a lot of money to do that. That the Fish and Game has to get those hatcheries set up and have have personnel working there, and all the equipment that it takes to go and dump these fish after they're grown to a certain point into these reservoirs. It takes a lot of resources, a lot of effort, and there's a cost behind that we pay for when we buy our fishing license. So it's kind of cool in that aspect, because you know, your average person, just like me, can go and catch fish and be successful and at it. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be, because you're not going to just, you know, like, I mean, you know, the bad side about it is that if, you know, if we ever had any kind of a major, you know, if the Fish and Game wasn't there and they weren't doing that anymore for one reason or another, make up, insert reason here, whatever. If they weren't doing that anymore, you would have to, you know, people like me would be having a hard time trying to find fish. You know, say you're in some kind of a survival situation where you're trying to fish for food, and you know, normally, I mean, for me, I go and look at the Fish and Game site and see when and where they're stocking reservoirs, and I go and hit them up, you know, right after they stock them. Like they just stocked Herrick last week, so it's full of fish, and they were jumping all over the place last night. I still didn't catch anything. I threw a line in. I tried a spinner and I tried a bobber with some power bait on it, and I didn't get anything. And they were just jumping all around me. I think because they just stocked it last week, I think that I probably had too big of a, you know, piece of, well, we're starting to get into some cabins here. I think I had too big of a, you know, too much power bait on the hook, and maybe too big of a hook, and they're probably, being freshly stocked last week, they're probably not real big fish. They're probably only 12 inches or so. So, I just realized I'm on pavement. How long have I been on pavement? Got to turn in a mile or so. So we'll fuel up in, we'll go ahead and fuel up in Garden Valley or Crouch here. Wow, look at these. Check these out, you guys. Look at these chainsaw carvings. Tom's Tree Creations. Little toilet paper holder bear. Oh man, he carved a fish out of that one. That is sweet. Oh, this one is cool. The bear with the fish in the mouth. Smells amazing right here. Fresh cut pine. How cool. Garden Valley Market. Okay. Yeah, we need to go to Middle Fork. Let's see, Middle Fork Trading Post. Oh, here's some fuel right here. Old Crouch Mercantile Exchange. Let's scope this fuel out here. No ethanol fuel. That's good. $2.79. About 30 cents more than normal, but we are up in the middle of nowhere. Alright. Sweet. Cool little town, guys. Garden Valley. Let's fill her up. Alright. Had a Cliff Bar. Topped off the tank. I gotta be honest, this Old Crouch Mercantile Exchange smells like cat pee in there, but they got some really awesome stuff. They got this bear skull in there that's sweet. I didn't realize that, I don't know, this bear skull has like these huge fangs. I don't think I realized that bears had those. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's something else. I don't know. I thought it was a cat. That's what it looked like. Okay, so my return route is the route that I wanted to take is not on here. not on my GPS, and I cannot create routes with the maps that I have on here. It just draws a straight line, which means they're not routable. They were advertised as routable, but they're not routable. So, disappointed about that. The only way I can get routes on here then is to create them in base camp and copy them over, which is not good because I need to be able to reroute and recalculate and create routes on the fly. It's kind of a important function. So this route on the way back is goes up Scriver Creek, and I had hit some down trees on that, but I kind of created an alternate way around it. So I'm hoping we don't hit any down trees on the way back and end up having to come back into Garden Valley and either taking highway back up to camp or going dirt, back the way that we came. I probably would just come back this way and end up taking highway around, but I'd like to complete the loop here on dirt. The problem is that my route up Scriver Creek on here it has a hard time getting through the neighborhoods up here because there's a lot of roads here in Garden Valley and Crouch area that, different, neighborhoods and roads that go off in all kinds of different directions. And if I can get through all of that and end up in the mountains over there, I'll be good. But kind of worried about. I think that's not my biggest concern. My biggest concern is hitting down trees on this particular route. The route that I wanted to take was Packer John Road, and I don't see how you get there without being able to create a route. I'm not just going to wing it. That's a good way to get lost. So that's the current stitch. And I charged the GoPro up for a little bit. I figure I've got about an hour and a half of footage on there already. I charged it up for about 10 or 15 minutes or something like that while I ate a Cliff Bar and used the restroom there. And so I'm gonna, in an effort to capture, I hate to have a dead GoPro and not be able to capture certain areas. So in an effort to do that, I'm gonna kill the GoPro here until we get back up into the mountains and see part of this other part of this loop on the way back. Alright, so we just took a left on Scriver Creek Road off of Middle Fork Road. Nice oiled road here. So if we can get back through these neighborhoods, I'm already off the route. Well, I'm going to stay on Scriver Creek Road. This GPS is not working. And I'm trying to follow the route backwards because I can't calculate a route. The GPS can't calculate a route except for doing a straight line. I can't tell it to take me back to the starting point and do the route in reverse. So I just have to look down at I just have to look at it. I mean, as you can see right now, it doesn't even have me on a road. So I think I had disabled the route, so I need to, enable the other maps. There we go. Okay. So anyway, the road with the purple on it is the is the road that's part of the route. So I'm just going to stay on Scriver Creek until we get through all these cabins and neighborhoods and things, and see if we can't make it all the way back into the mountains this way.